When I first decided to visit China, I thought I already knew what to expect. I had watched videos, read articles, and heard stories about how fast China builds things, how powerful their factories are, and how quickly they produce almost anything you can imagine. But nothing prepared me for what I saw when I entered the heart of their automobile industry. What I experienced there changed everything I believed about car manufacturing. And I am sure that by the time you hear this full story, you will never look at a Chinese car the same way again. This is how China makes cars, and trust me, it will shock you. The moment I arrived, I noticed something unusual. Everything was moving fast. Not just people, not just vehicles, but even ideas seemed to move at a different speed. You could feel the energy of progress in the air. China is not just building cars. They are building the future. And I was about to walk into the place where that future is being created. I visited one of China's largest electric vehicle factories, a place so advanced that even standing outside the building felt like standing in the future. Massive robotic arms moved behind glass walls. Automated carts rolled across the ground with no human driver. Giant screens displayed real-time data, flashing numbers, colors, and updates like a living heartbeat. I was told that this one factory can build more cars in one day than some countries build in 1 month. I thought it was a joke, but it was not. Inside the factory, the first thing that shocked me was the silence. In my mind, a factory is supposed to be loud, full of metal banging, engines roaring, and workers shouting over machines. But this place was quiet, almost too quiet. Robots handled most of the work. Human workers were there, but they were supervisors, engineers, and inspectors. They controlled everything from screens, devices, and smart systems. Their job was not to carry heavy parts, but to monitor the intelligence of the machines doing the work. This was my first real shock. In China, cars are not just built by people. They are built by technology working with people. The next shock came when I reached the section where they build car bodies. I watched huge sheets of metal get shaped, cut, and welded into car frames. But unlike traditional factories where fire sparks fly everywhere, these robots welded with precision that felt unreal. Every dot of weld looked identical. Every cut looked like it was measured by a laser, and in many cases, it actually was. One engineer standing next to me said something I will never forget. He said, "In China, we do not try to copy the Western way of building cars. We try to build cars the way the future will build them." And when he said that, I understood why the cars coming out of their factories are improving so quickly. But what truly shocked me next was the speed. In many countries, building one car can take several hours, sometimes a whole day. But in this Chinese factory, a new car rolled out almost every 2 minutes. Imagine the level of efficiency required for such speed. Every robot must move at the exact right time. Every piece must arrive at the right place. Every decision must be accurate. There is no room for mistakes. And the craziest part? The error rate was near zero. The paint section was even more unbelievable. The entire painting process was done in a sealed, dust-free room. The car body entered one side unpainted and came out the other side shining like glass. Robots sprayed the exact right amount of paint, at the exact right angle, at the exact right speed. No overspray, no uneven color, no human mistakes. The shine on those cars looked like something you only see on luxury brands, but here it was standard. Then came another shocking moment. I entered the battery area. If the car is electric, the battery is the heart. And China treats it like a heart. They build their batteries in extreme cleanroom conditions similar to how microchips are made. Workers had to wear special suits. No dust, no hair, no sweat, no particles were allowed. The precision was incredible, and the testing was even more shocking. Each battery cell was tested for safety, stability, heat resistance, and power output. They simulated accidents. They simulated extreme heat. They simulated freezing cold. They even simulated fires. They tested how long the battery would last if you drove every single day. They tested how it would behave after 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years. China does not want to build cars that last 5 years. They want to build cars that last decades. But what surprised me even more was how they use artificial intelligence. Every car created in that factory was connected to a central system that tracked its performance even after it left the factory. It was like the car had a digital life. If a battery in Ghana, Kenya, the US, or the UK had the smallest issue, the data went straight back to China. The engineers would study the problem and improve the next batch of cars. This is why their cars improve faster than others. They learn from real-world use every single second. At this point in my visit, I thought I had seen everything, but I had not. The next section made me stop walking. I saw a huge screen showing a map of the whole world. It displayed every car model the company had ever built. You could click on a car in Nigeria and see how much power it had used that day. You could click on a car in South Africa and see how the battery was performing. You could click on a car in Brazil and see if it had any maintenance issues. This was not a company building cars. This was a company controlling a global network of machines, learning from them and improving them in real time. The shock continued when I reached the final assembly area. This was where the car interiors were installed, dashboards added, seats fitted, sensors calibrated, cameras positioned, and final touches made. And once again, no noise, no confusion, no rushing, just smooth coordination. The cars moved along a track, and at each point, a robot or a skilled worker added something. Every movement was planned, every screw was measured, every panel was checked. And before any car could leave the factory, it went into a testing tunnel. This tunnel had rain simulations, potholes, slippery conditions, high winds, rough terrain vibration, engine sound testing, and interior noise testing. I watched a car go through heavy, fake rainfall, strong winds, slippery roads, and then come out completely dry inside. That was when I understood something important. China is not making cheap cars anymore. They are making smart cars, strong cars, durable cars, and future cars. And they are doing it faster than the world expected. I asked one of the managers, "How are you able to do so much at this scale?" He smiled and said, "We always plan 20 years ahead." That answer hit me hard. Most countries are trying to fix today's problems. China is building solutions for problems that have not even arrived yet. They are not competing with the world. The world is trying to catch up with them. When I left the factory, I realized the most shocking thing of all. The real secret behind China's car industry is not only the technology or the robots. It is the mindset. They believe nothing is impossible. They believe speed is normal. They believe improvement is endless. They believe innovation is a daily habit, not a yearly goal. And because of that belief, they are building cars that are changing the world. When I finally sat inside one of the new cars, I was surprised again. The screen was huge, like a tablet inside a car. The interior felt soft, comfortable, and modern. The car was quiet. The ride was smooth, and the price was far cheaper than any Western brand offering similar quality. That is when everything became clear. China is not only building cars. China is building a movement of affordability, efficiency, technology, and daring ambition. A movement that is spreading across the world faster than many expected. Before I visited China, I thought Chinese cars were just getting popular. But after seeing everything with my own eyes, I realized something much bigger. Chinese cars are not coming. They are already here. And very soon, they might dominate the world. Because once you see how they build their cars, once you see the technology, the speed, the intelligence, the precision, and the future-focused mindset, you will understand exactly why the world is paying attention. I visited China to learn how they make cars, but what I discovered was a country rewriting the rules of innovation and manufacturing. And trust me, the world has not seen the end of it yet. The future of cars is being built right now, and China is leading the way.